Good evening and welcome back to the Nexus Gaming Series. My name is Bahamut. We find ourselves here on Dragonshire. This is going to be a Division B West matchup between the members of sOaK Every Lane versus Who Knows Gaming, and I'm sure you're all itching to find out how we got to Dragonshire. The home team this evening is going to be the members of sOaK Every Lane. They lost the coin flip. The members of Who Knows Gaming opted for map pick priority for game number 1. The members of sOaK Every Lane banned out Tomb of Spider Queen and Sky Temple. Cursed Hollow and Infernal Shrines was banned out by the members of Who Knows Gaming. And we have Dragonshire as the map chosen by them, as we can already hear a Joanna being picked up early here with a Tickle Me Mephisto. Hello? Have not gotten to see that in action just yet, but we also do have a Rexar, Valir, oh my god, Valera, not even right. A Rexar Maiev ban, and then we have an Ariel and Vala ban on the right-hand side. Deathwing is still up and available if a team wants to try and go for that, but there's an ETC early pick on this left. They could be looking for a Jaina for themselves to pair into some sort of Mosh Pit Ring of Frost combo, or, ooh, okay, so they're going to be going to Junkrat for some more poke potential displacement, and they're going to grab a Kael'thas as well for a little bit of that Chain Bomb value, going to be trying to spread that around a little bit. That's not a bad duo right there. If I'm looking on the side of Who Knows Gaming, I'd actually be considering to ban out the Ana here, because a nano boost to Kael'thas is not a good time. Even Eye of Horus has got pretty good value on Dragonshire, so you could consider that. sTOaK is not a bad idea either, but I'm just leaning more towards Ana because of the nano boost on a Kael'thas, or honest to god, even Junkrat's a possibility too. But Ana's a good choice as a ban. You can also ban out you can also then pick up the sTOaK on the side of sOaK Every Lane. That wouldn't be bad to pair into the ETC. On the right-hand side, they got the Joanna Mephisto. They themselves will need a healer. They could actually just choke out the sTOaK if they don't want to go for it, or maybe get rid of Decker Kane or Tyrande. Like, I was leaning more towards healers, but I think they just don't want to deal with the potential of Greymane being able to solo camps and dive in with Mephisto. Now, granted, if Mephisto dives in, they also return to their origin point if they use the Shade of Mephisto. So, if Greymane dives in, that's a bit of a good luck, bud. I hope you make it out alive. We do currently have, though, the members of Who Knows Gaming with the potential pickups here. Kira for actually going to be grabbed. That might be their solo laner. And then we have a Lucio as well. So I think I like the way they're playing this, because they can play the Kira in the solo lane, and then or they can play it in the 4-man. Yeah, I like this quite a bit, because you can kind of flex, because you're going to see what the enemy team's going to grab. Now, they themselves can't grab the Rexar, which I was going to say is pretty strong. I was going to say maybe Chen, but with Kira being on the battlegrounds, I think they want to go something more poke-oriented, so like a Thrall might be a good choice for them, or even maybe Urel, because she can chase and be aggressive. Going to actually be the Malthael for the double soak, and there's going to be the Deckard Cain to amplify the potential for this Kael'thas and ETC, because you're going to be able to throw triangles on the ground, you're going to be able to slow people with Roger Cube, and you do have the Stay While and Listen, or even the Lornado. Bring on Murky. It's actually going to be Zagara. So we have Zagara for solo lane right now. I don't get to see much Zagara, but I'm excited about this one. I wish it was Murky Tilted Sister. I wish. I always thought it was a picture of a dog. Now I know I was wrong. Yeah, Dima. No. Bandit is the best co-caster ever. Shout out to This Is Kobe for the intro video for season 8 and season 7 too. Mark Zombie, like, Kobe killed it with that. Imagine washing your hands, brought to you by X Fast Food Gang. I've seen some whores in the kitchen, man. I actually worked at a sushi place, and yeah, I saw some things. I don't eat at that sushi place. I don't recommend my friends to eat at that sushi place. It's in Detroit, so you won't stumble upon it. Let's just say this: electrical outputs next to boiling water. They're not also GFI rated either. Ground fault interrupt, if anyone is wondering what GFI is. I wish it was a Nazebo. You wish it was the Shaky Boy? Nazebo actually is in a decent spot right now. He would into a Malthael. He actually might not do too bad. I'm curious to see how this Zagara is going to work out for them, but let's go ahead and get on into game number 1. On the left-hand side, we got the members of sOaK Every Lane. We're going to be having Philippic on the Malthael. Dam going to be on the Junkrat. We've got Kid on the ETC. Doubles will be on the Deckard Cain, and we've got Strogus going to be on the Kael'thas. On the right-hand side, we got the members of Who Knows Gaming. We've got Wolf on the Joanna. Crazy Buttes, I think I have it right. It's going to be on the Lucio. Lupus will be on the Zagara. I think it's Shin Kaigen I'm probably wrong on that. I'll go with Shin for the rest of the game, but they'll be on the Mephisto, and then we have Mezzos going to be on the Kira as they're making an interesting rotation to top real quickly. Let's jump over to the Vision. Filipic's gonna run into an entire enemy team as they're sniping the top well. This is a huge win for the members. Oh, actually, hold on, as they're gonna turn this around and they find a kill onto Cigar. The chain bomb value spreading from player to player. The concussion mine to throw Lucio over the wall, and now Shin is gonna be looking to throw out a little bit of damage, and they end up backing off. Gonna be able to get that skull missile out as well. They did go into the unyielding power at level 1, so they have 8 out of the 40 stacks necessary onto that. Kira actually went into maximum effort. Not something we see often. It's typically the fatal wounds at level 1 for the 200 stacks, but maybe they're just adapting because actually no, I was gonna say maybe they're adapting because they're not in the soul lane, but no, Kira's in the 4 members and in the 4 stacks, though. I feel like they would have gotten that. Either way, we'll go ahead and see what happens here as the first Dragonite point is going to be up and available in the next 24 seconds. Another concussion mine displacing the enemy team as Wolf is going to try and get a condemn to pull them in. ETC with the power side looking at crazy, going to be able to back out as Dam is in a bit of a rough spot. Nice use of the face melt just to force them back a little bit. Meanwhile, Zagara in top lane is going to be just soaking up here by themselves. She did go into Infest at level 1. That's going to be buffing up the range units, so you're going to see that little bit of red glow around them. We can actually highlight this really quickly. If you're playing up against Zagara players, you might notice this. That's going to be that Infest at level 1, and it's going to be benefiting the range minions only. But hey, it's actually, I didn't realize that it was actually an additional 1% per 1,000 siege damage Zagara does. I didn't know that. Can be toggled on and off. Well, the toggled on and off is the ability itself. We'll have to keep an eye on that. I actually did not know it actually scaled the extra 1% per the siege damage. That's new to me. That is new to me. Worth? Yeah, very worth. I introduced Kobe to NGS OPOP. Bahamut for partner? Please, Mark Zombie, please. Please. RNG, please. That was bold indeed, Stark. Kael'thas will be going down in our bottom lane as there was a bit of a back and forth scuffle. Looks like Zagara's going to be doing some double soak rotations as well. Going to be able to pick up a decent amount of experience. She did go into the sharpened blades at level, serrated spines at level 4, and they end up finding a kill into Malthael and a Dragonite. I gotta say, for a team who ended up losing quite a few members at the beginning on that top lane well play, they're gonna be able to have a dominant force in this early game, grabbing the Dragonite and also getting a couple kills to respond. Oh, wait, the damage over time. Dam goes down right there. That Skull Missile really worked out for them, and now the Dragonite plus 4 members will be, 3 members, because the Mephisto ended up getting picked off. I didn't realize that. Nexus Force is a little too OP for even me to notice. They're going to go straight for the well. The reason you're seeing these teams go straight for the well every single time is they're mitigating the lane sustain. That means that the enemy team now needs to rotate to either mid lane fort, so you can see on your minimap that little bit of plus sign next to that fort, or they have to go back all the way to their keeps to the Hall of Storms to be able to get any sort of healing. And that's going to be a bit of a detriment, especially in the bottom and top lane. That's why you're seeing initially those being prioritized in top as well as in bottom. Looking over here just in this mid lane real quickly, just Filippic and Shin are going to be battling it out as the Dragonite does go down, and they get the fort for themselves as well. So far, I gotta say, Who Knows Gaming in a bit of a driver's seat in this early game, as it is still 3-3 in kills, but seems like their dive and their team fight's a little bit stronger. We'll see how this works out as the game does progress. I want to jump over to the Malthael vision really quickly, as there were a couple members rotating into top. So there's the Zagara getting the dismount. Malthael going to try and get the target onto them. Doesn't look like I thought there was another member rotating up into top lane, but I think the Mephisto ended up splitting off and joining into Wolf and Crazy to be able to get the camp on the right-hand side. Meanwhile, in bottom lane, the members of sOaK every lane are going to be grabbing their own down here, being able to pressure that up as well, trying to open up bottom lane for themselves, which, once again, it's the same premise. You're trying just to match and be able to take out that lane sustain. The other factor to note, too, is you just saw that catapult being killed. Due to the fact that there is no fort in bottom lane, they will have periodic catapult pressure coming in. Oh, very good concussion mine to displace all this to allow the friendly team to get out of there. Also, really good scroll of sealing from Doubles to force back the enemy team. Kira and friends will be able to clear out the camp, but it will be able to take down one tower right there. Actually, doesn't even get the tower. No. Oh no, it can. Not the mine, but the grenades from Junkrat were enough right there. We do currently have Zagara pushing up top lane. Malthael's rotating in, and they do see that right. They see that happening due to the fact that they have all this creep on the ground. Sorry, Bandit was just staring at me, and I was like, "Are you okay?" Now he'll sit down. He just wanted me to acknowledge that he left the room and he came back. You're a good boy, Bandit. Yes. Zag clicks W, and there goes half your health.
and make use of it.
Felipe. Oh, wait. Shin is going to be diving out with the Shade of Mephisto. Oh, they didn't have the Skull Missile. I think they were trying to get as much value, but they actually get the cooldown reduction from all of the Lightning Nova damage, and so they'll be able to get that reset onto the Shade of Mephisto and got that second dive. Going to poke out a little bit further as our shrines will be activating here in the next 6 seconds. Bottom lane is a little stacked up, but as I was mentioning, there is a catapult down here, and that catapult, while it doesn't deal, it's still, it's 115. It's a decent amount of damage. They also want to make sure that they're picking up the experience, because you can see those little globes on the ground. They're going to generate or float towards the players, and that's just what the experience currently is in our game. Meanwhile, in top lane, they're going to be pushing in against Zagara, trying to make her lane a little bit more difficult. Another scroll ceiling to zone her back. She's getting free stacks from this the entire time. Also, Vicious Acid going to be picked up by them. That's not something I see too often, but I see the potential for this. If they're going to be brawling out quite a bit, when you throw that out, you get that 25% slow, allows you to chase more effectively, especially with a Lucio as well. Nidus Network will be picked up at level 10 for Zagara. Durance of Hate, no, Consume Soul. I was just like, Durance of Hate's the big ol' throw the demons at people. Consume Soul is going to be all the ghostly beams out of everyone's head. Trust me, it makes sense, and go in my head and come back out and tell me I'm wrong. We have just more poke going out to them, as we have 30 skull missiles out of the 40 necessary on that unyielding power for the Mephisto at level 1, and 31 stacks currently on the Zagara. What is that going to yield damage-wise? You cannot use the healing fountain. That's not the answer I was looking for. 6.2% damage increase. She's currently sitting at 39 because it rounds up auto attack damage. In comparison, I'm just looking through. She has got second most attack damage in the game currently. I don't think anyone on the opposing side beats her. No, Junkrat does. Yeah, so she's like third most auto attack damage in the game. And it's only going to scale too. I mean, everyone scales, but it's going to scale further for her. Kira's going to hold over bottom lane. They tried to go for the Dragonite, but unfortunately ETC was able to grab the top lane. Phoenix was used as an interrupt, so that is going to be a 60-second cooldown. That feels like wrong. That's 60-second cooldown. That's not going to be available for, well, at least for the next team fight if they do get into one right here. Seems like there's a bit of a back and forth as Mephisto won't be hit with the gravity lapse. Kira ends up getting caught by that one. They did go into Netherwinds at level 4, so they do have the mana refund, and they also have that increased range onto it. Looking in top lane, they have all this Zagara creeps that provides vision to the friendly team, so they know where ETC is. Nice play from the Kira, but that ends up putting them onto the far side of this engagement, and ETC gets the power slide through as they were trying to get the lockdown. They don't find the kill, and Break It Down was used as well. Meanwhile, in mid lane, there is the potential for a Dragonite. They're actually going to bait the Chattering Teeth into the lane. This is actually a huge, huge thing to do in your own games. When you see that Chattering Teeth, if a Junkrat goes into this, Chattering Teeth and Sticky Wicket, you should take that. Oh no, Lupus is in a rough spot as they're going to be going down. Oh, no Concussion Mine triggered. They get the raw kill regardless. But it's one of those things in your own games, like if you see that Chattering Teeth out, you can bait it towards the minion wave and it will latch onto a minion rather than, well, one of your friendly players. So that's just a little thing you can take into your own game so you're not going to get hit with the Sticky Wicket Silence or even just a trap itself. Yellow Snappers, how you doing, friend? Thanks for coming by. I really like the XP globes after they improved. I agree. We were actually talking about that last night or maybe the night before, but once they had that first patch, or I guess technically second, however you want to describe it, but when they added in the fact that if you last hit a minion, that it gives you the experience, that also fixed a couple other issues. Apparently, Asmodan wasn't getting, like, when he last hit minions with a dunk, that wasn't actually counting. Like, Ragnaros Lava Wave, I think, wasn't counting or something like that, so they fixed a couple things, and everything, in my opinion, has been rolling a little bit smoother, as Wolf is going to actually use the Blessed Shield to stop them right there. They end up getting the Fatal Strike onto one. Consume Soul is going to be able to find the kill onto the Kael'thas, and they have denied the Dragonite, and they might be able to find themselves a triple kill here, as Kid's going to be pushed around. They do have this fort still dealing damage. Enough minions were there, and so that's going to be at least something to aggro that fort rather than onto a hero. This will be Shin in top lane rotating up, and they're going to be able to counter this Dragonite channel. The question that I now have is, are they going to be able to grab it themselves? Channel through top is going to be coming. Oh, wait, no, hold on. ETC did go into bottom lane. I thought they took stage dive for how quickly they got here, but Zagara will also spread around that creep, and that's really good for her. She's got creep up here. She's got a Nidus network that she can jump to. So if she throws one down here, that'll be exponentially better for her to be able to maneuver around the map more effectively, as Crazy is going to be getting to the far side of that and gets the kill onto... Actually, Kira steals the kill. Gets the kill onto ETC, and the other thing to note too is Mephisto finished out the Unyielding Power at level 1. That means that they have the cooldown reduction onto that, and they're going to be able to Gatling gun these Skull Missiles consistently. Objective just got 2 times harder for the blue team. Smart going top. Yeah. I agree, Tilted Sister. I always harp on how important wells are, and we're kind of seeing a good example of that here, because anytime they're trying to fight in this top lane or bottom, they have to back off because either they need to tap well or they don't have a fort or structure to be able to retreat to. And not being able to have anything in top lane to back off to, not until you get to the keep front gate, is a terrifying perspective or prospect. Same thing in bottom lane as well. Just how your retreat path from the objective phase is just so very far, and it's a little daunting to try and step up into the enemy team. As we do have the members of Who Knows Gaming stepping further into mid lane, going to be taking down the keep front gate. Dragonite's still around 69% health. Oh, come on, ETC, you ruined everything. 66% health on that with 28 seconds left. Looks like they're going to try and rotate in the bottom lane to push us up a little bit further. Skimming through talents, I'm just curious because I didn't look at all the 10 talents. Doesn't seem like anything out of the ordinary. Consume Soul will be up in a couple seconds. Nidus networks have been thrown around the map. And we'll see what they're able to do in this bottom lane currently. Shade of Mephisto was used just to kind of get them further forward and be able to poke out further. I just want to keep checking on this. 8.2 attack damage increase, 172 auto attack damage. Like, I feel like once you get into like the 60 plus range with that, it really starts to deal a significant amount. I mean, she's already doing decent damage. We actually haven't looked at any of the numbers in quite some time, so let's go ahead and do that. I know we just got 16 talent tiers, but I really want to find out what the damage looks like for the Zagara as well as the Siege. So technically, the Infest is buffed out by 84 extra percent, so it's currently sitting somewhere in the 200 plus range, right? Because it's baseline 125. We'll take a peek at that in a little bit. I want to see if the Infest actually the tooltip scale. Actually, I think we might be able to look at that here. I just want to see if the tooltip scales with them as well. Current siege damage bonus 86%. There it is. It does read it off to you. Okay. Or it's not read off to you, but it's in the tooltip as well. All right. Something new I learned today. Does he have Mosh? Has he used it? ETC has Mosh. I don't feel like I've heard or seen a Mosh just yet. Sorry, the choo-choo train just gets me every single time. All right. What do we have happening here? As I try to get my tea, but I don't think I'm going to be able to drink it, as this is going to be... they're just going to be zoning them. They zone them away as they steal away the camp. We do have another Dragonite phase not too far off as well. Siege camp going to be grabbed for bottom lane. Currently going to be having the Night camp down here as well, as ETC gets the face melt to force them back. Shin is going to be stepping further forward, gets a Skull Miss into a couple, going to get the Lightning Nova into them as well. With the Shade of Mephisto, they actually dive in with Kier on top of all of this. It's going to be 3 members getting pushed back. Stale while Leslie coming out from the Decker Canyons. They connect into a couple members. Consume Soul going to be used by the Mephisto. Finds the kill onto the ETC. Currently going to be having the Keep being sieged up by the enemy team as well. They got 2 kills. They could look to potentially end the game here, or they could back off and go for Dragonite. Realistically, with the momentum they have and the minion wave behind them as well, their damage should be high enough, and it should be enough for them to be able to end game. No ETC, no Kael'thas. They still have a defense on the opposing side, but it's going to be a little daunting for them, as that will be Maltheo going down, Riptide coming out from the Junkrat as the Break It Down is used just in time, and it looks like game number 1 is going to be going over to the members of sOaK. Excuse me, of Who Knows Gaming. GG. Well played. Everyone goes for a bit of a flight at the end of this game. Joanna, can you get out the way? Can you get out the way? That was a good game 1. That was a really good game 1. So much fun back and forth. Yeah, but Infest on this map isn't that great because it won't be solo pushing keeps. Here's the thing, though. Even as a group, would it still not be beneficial to be buffing out your wave when you're trying to push in as a 5-stack? That's just the question that I want to pose. That's all. Like, wouldn't it be beneficial, even in the later half of the game, when you're trying to end, like right there, ranged minions are going to be buffed out by roughly, we're going to round up here and say 225%. That's not bad in my opinion. I get it though, I get it. There's other talents that you can take and stuff like that, but I think this Zagara played it really well, and they controlled their lane, and they controlled every lane that they were in. Maltheo never stood a chance. Maltheo had a rough go. Melee into range, and this is actually what I was talking about in the draft a little bit. They were holding their last pick on the side of Who Knows Gaming. So that meant the members of sOaK Every Lane had to show their solo laner before the enemy side had to pick theirs. And that's when they were like, cool, we're going to grab Zagara. She's oppressive, especially on Dragonshire. I was complaining about Zagara not too long ago when I was actually playing some Storm League myself, and just how on Dragonshire, she's an oppressive force. Like, if you don't have ganks rotating to top to potentially mitigate the Zagara push, she's going to run you down. And I would say that Zagara did run it down consistently throughout that game. Malthael did have good siege damage as well, but this Zagara, she made waves within this game. Mephisto's not something to either scoff at either. He put in a lot of damage to this enemy team, and Junkrat had a lot of good concussion mines. The Kael'thas, it had good wave clear, but it felt like it was a little bit on the lower side. But not that it was bad. It was probably way better than me playing Kael'thas. But we're just jumping around talents and stuff really quickly just to show you everything. I actually wanted to see what Zagara went to. Corrosive Saliva, as well as Hydralisk Transfusion. Okay. Okay. All right, we already know what map we're going to be going to, so let's pull it back to Bandit and I, and let's get into our map number 2 and see who's going to be taking this. Concussion Mind End. That's, yeah, thank you, Kalia. That was really good. Observer, set to referee, tournament draft this. Team 2 will get first pick, and let's get Team 1 in here. Let's update the team scores. And then I need to do one more thing. That's what it was. Boop. Boop and boop. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. You need a quick attacker to deal with Zags so you can burn the Hunter Killer. Yeah. I think Zagara was able to just do whatever she wanted in that game, and they kind of started to run away with it, and it was just hard to kind of bring it back from the tail end. Where's Wolf? Invite to game. I'm off to bed. Talk to you later. Take care, everyone. Thank you for coming by, Kaleo. Thank you for the clips. Thank you so much for being such a wonderful person, and I hope you have a wonderful night. 7th, how's it going? Just in time for BW? BW. Right wing? JK team scores weren't updated? I'm confused. Wait, what? Oh, just in time for Division B West. I figured it out. There we go. I'm a little slow tonight, 7th. You made it in time for games still. As that's the end of the tea. Which, it's 8:30. I shouldn't be drinking tea anymore. All right, let's see if the teams are ready, and let's go ahead and find out what's going to happen here for game number 2. 10K more bandit bucks for the big cookie. 10K more bandit bucks for the big Coup Butt. Coup Butt. That's a new one. I love it, though. All right, we got one ready. That big Coup Butt. We did it, Bandit and Pals. Yeah, we did it. We figured it out. Thanks for coming by, 7th. I hope you're having a wonderful night. I hope your week is going well for you. Also, I believe it was you, if I'm not mistaken. Wasn't it your dad, if I'm not mistaken, made the giant NGS thing? I don't know. I see it literally every time I walk into my studio because it hangs right above the doorway. So I always see it when I walk in. It's a giant NGS emblem. So I don't know. Seriously, like I smile at that. That was the nicest thing I think someone's ever done for me, like casting wise. So thank you so much, or at least like physically gift wise for casting. But I love that thing. I honest to God cherish it. All right, going. Good luck. Have fun. All right, let's go ahead and get into game 2. Let me make sure that I have everything all set up correctly. Yes, I do. That's that, and let's go. Alrighty, everybody, let's go ahead and find out what happens here on map number 2, game number 2. We find ourselves here on Battlefield of Eternity for our Game 2 and our second best of 3 series. Who Knows Gaming is up 1, but we have the members of sOaK Every Lane still battling it out, trying to take us to a game number 3 in our Division B West matchup. But I'm sure you all might have just rolled in and been like, wait a minute. It was Ark, if I recall. Oh, you're right. I don't know why. For some reason, I thought it was you. I don't know why. Either way. Shout out to NGS for making such an amazing gift. Maybe I'll show it at the end of the stream. Either way, let's get into the maps, because I know that's what you actually want. You don't want to find out about who made a giant wood wheel thingy on my wall. We currently have the members of sOaK Every Lane as the home team. They lost the coin flip. The opposing side opted for map pick priority for game number 1. The members of sOaK Every Lane banned out Tomb of Spider Queen and Sky Temple. Cursed Hollow and Infernal Shrines were banned out by Who Knows Gaming. Who Knows Gaming chose the first map, and that will be Dragonshire. They won that. The opposing team had first pick or map pick priority. They opted for map pick, and they chose to take us to Battlefield of Eternity for our game. Or excuse me, our second map in this second best of 3 series. Let's go ahead and get back into the draft and find out what we get here, as that will be a Alarak ban. Seems like there's no Deathwing priority from either of these teams, so I don't think that we'll see that ban coming out. Actually, not even needing a second ban, just like, whatever, we don't even need it. But Ariel and ETC will be banned out on the right-hand side. It's actually, actually a bit of a rough go, because you can't ban out Vala. Like, you could have banned out Vala, Hanzo, Lunara, Greymane, Cassia, Malthael, all of these heroes that see, Raynor, like, there's so many heroes, and so they have the pick of the litter, in a sense, outside of Alarak, and, well, Ariel and ETC, but they can go into really any directions. Hey, I just rolled in, wondered how did we get here, Baha? Thank you so much, 7th. That sounds right. That butt's right. Ektar, that's going in the best of butt spot. That's going in the best. That's going in the best of butt spot. It is honestly blowing up quite a bit. All right, I'm sorry. We need to focus here on draft, as let's see. We got a Garrosh coming out from the members of sOaK Every Lane. With a Garrosh, maybe we get like a Jaina. Oh, gonna be going for the Li Ming, which makes a little bit more sense on a map like this. You can poke at the Immortal phase. Gonna be having the Rhaegar on the right hand side. That's a very early Rhaegar. Cho'Gall incoming. Ancestral Healing. Ancestral Healing. Cho'Gall. They won't do it, but you should do it. Do it. Cho'Gall. 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 No, realistically, they're probably going to take something like Raynor that races really good, and they take like, oh! The Maiev I actually like really, really well here. They could be going for a Diablo for the Apocalypse to be able to get the Hell in the Cell, as we were talking about wombo combos earlier before we got into our best of 3 series. Or, even Joanna's still good. You get the Condemn, Warden's Cage, Hyperion on top of it, Bloodlust. No, Joanna's actually going to be banned out because of exactly what I was just talking about, the grouping of people. The blinds from her are really, really detrimental and are really, really powerful to mitigate some of the race potential coming out from these teams. Ana will be banned as they don't want to deal with a nano boosted Li Ming. Now, this does give first pick priority after this ban phase over to sOaK Every Lane, and realistically, if I'm on their team, I have not no race, but something like a Greymane typically pairs really well with a Li Ming, as well as it races really well. They could go into Vala, but I personally like the Greymane a lot better. Allows them to also get some solo camps on top of everything. They also could go into Artanis too for the solo lane. Actually, so there's going to be the Vala. Anduin's going to be grabbed there as well. Now, this is what I was talking about in the last game, where, you know, the draft was swapped, so the members of Who Knows Gaming had last pick, and so they're playing the same way on the side of sOaK Every Lane. They're holding out on their solo lane because they want to see what the enemy team's going to do. So it's probably going to be Arthas for the solo lane. Tyrael can solo lane, so it's either going to be Arthas, Tyrael. And they're gonna go Blaze into that. Okay, I was thinking maybe Leoric, so that way they can get the Entomb, and Li Ming and Vala can dump damage just into the Entomb. Chastise and Warlord's Challenge are gonna be good setups for that, but Chastise and Warlord's Challenge are gonna be good follows up. Oh my god, Arrow, thank you so much for the raid! Welcome everyone from Arrow's stream. Arrow, I hope you had a wonderful night casting. If someone in chat, actually here, I'm just gonna do it really quickly. Boop. Shout out to Arrow. Thank you so much, bud. I hope you had a wonderful stream, but that is going to be your draft for game number 2 and our match number 2 of the evening. Apparently I get raided and I don't know how to talk, but that's actually been all night. We are here in our Division B West matchup. We are getting into game number 2 of our second best of 3 of the evening. There we go. We figured out how to say it. Bandit's quite pooped this evening. He got a dental treat, so he's just like, I did that, I'm gonna go pass out for a little bit. Hammer. Oh, Hammer could be an option here as well. They did have the Garrosh, which is actually a really good defender around that, but the Vala was grabbed instead. Thank you so much again, Arrow. I hope you have a wonderful night, and I hope your casts were an absolute blast. But let's go ahead and find out what happens here in game number 2. On the left-hand side, we got the members of sOaK Every Lane trying to take us to a game in number 3. Doubles will be on the Anduin. We've got Dam on the Vala. Sturgis is going to be on the Li Ming. Kid on the Garrosh, and we have in the solo lane, Blaze being played by Philippic. On the right-hand side, we got the members of Who Knows Gaming trying to close this out in a 2-0 fashion. Lupus is going to be on the Arthas in the top lane. We've currently got Shin on the Maiev in bottom with Mezos on the Raynor. Wolf going to be on the Tyrael, and Crazy Butte's going to be on the Rhaegar. Let's go ahead and get into bottom and see what our first initial matchup looks like here. Bonds of Justice. Yep, Bonds of Justice for the Maiev. Sorry, for a second I was just like, that doesn't sound right. But there you go. It is also an uncapped quest. You can go beyond the 10 stacks. So you can get the, basically after the 10 stacks, so you get your, after 5, you get the 75 damage. At the 10, you get the 30% cleave damage. And then after that, you're just stacking up the pull damage by 15 every single time. So it's kind of like Kael'thas with Mana Addict in a sense. Like you have your quest in itself. You have your reward, but then you can overstack it as well. So it's just a little thing right there for some extra damage off the pole. Jumping over into the top lane really quickly between Arthas and Blaze. This is going to be our solo lane matchup. We'll see how this works out. I actually want to focus on this for just a wee bit. I always like to try and focus on the solo laners because they don't get enough highlight. And it's always good to see when you watch back on the VOD, like, all right, how was I playing against this Blaze player? Because when you're playing, it's different than when you're actually watching. Like, I can't tell you how many VODs I've gone back and watched on myself. I'm like, why would I do that? But in the moment, you think it's the right decision. When you watch it back, you're like, oh, now I know why. So I don't know, that's something for myself. Like, I always try and go back and watch my VODs for a lot of the games that I play. Like, even in League, I started doing it too, just here and there, just to be like, all right, well, like, why did I lose that? How could I have played that better? And so it's a lot of those stuff. Like, challenge yourself. Watch your VODs. You can learn so much about your own faults, and also at the same time, some of your best skills too, or your best traits. All 3 of your dogs are passed out as well. Good. I hope they enjoy that bark box. I hope it shows up really soon. That's going to be the pull onto Maiev, or the push onto her as she is going to be going down. Or, oh my god, I can't talk. The toss went out from Kid. There we go. I wanted to say pull, and I kept saying pull. I'm like, no, it's a toss. But they got them over the wall right there, and they didn't get the Spirit of Vengeance out just in time. So that's going to be 1 for 1 in kills thus far. But death timers are pretty low, so you're going to be seeing the Maiev coming back into this engagement. Arthas is actually going into Eternal Hunger at level 1, so they got the 5 out of the 10. This is also, I believe, an uncapped quest as well. I believe you can overstack from the 10, but you'll have that baseline, you know. Once you get your reward, you get that, and then you can also overstack. Yeah, no, you can overstack it. You can overstack it. Norflex, thank you so much for the host. Thank you for bringing all your friends over here. I hope you had a wonderful stream, and I hope you enjoy the games. Thank you again. Sorry I don't have alert. We turn off alerts during casted games, so I'll resend your alert when we get out of this matchup. Either way, first Immortal phase is going to be popping up here. Going to be in that north-south position. Going to be going to be having both of the shaman camps pushing up into top and bottom in the opposing sides. Arthas is going to be coming into the top lane. Actually, Blaze is going to use the jet propulsion because I don't think they knew where the enemy team was, and they were afraid that was a gank setup. Now, there is actually going to be a gank setup, but they're not able to get into lane quick enough. And also, I just want to skim really quickly. Looks like the Raynor went into Ace in the Hole at level 1, so they didn't go into Exterminator, which is something we've seen here and there on Infernal Shrines, due to the fact that you can use your Inspiration to buff out your auto attack damage. Mr. Jam Dango, thank you so much for the follow. Glad you're enjoying the stream. Gonna get the Warbreaker or Groundbreaker into 1. They're slowly whittling this Immortal down. They're not defending this too well, and Arthas was, I think, trying to do some damage. Yeah, they need to chase in this. They need to find a kill. That's gonna be the halfway point, and the majority of that went over in favor for the members of sOaK every lane. Lupus in a bit of a rough spot. They're gonna get picked off. Li Ming is gonna get a reset and throw out another Arcane Orb on top of the one she already had out, just trying to spam as much of that as possible. Going to get the Umbral Bind onto a couple members. Gonna have another Arcane Orb coming out as well. Looks like we do have Li Ming going into Seeker build, or at least the Magic Missile build, so that's going to be just the single target damage onto the Immortal to help out the race potential, and that's usually why we actually see her. Oftentimes we actually see Aetherwalker at level 1, but the Force Armor is going to be picked up here just to be able to get some extra spell armor and just mitigate some damage coming into them. But Immortal phase, first one of the game, going to be going over in favor to the members of sOaK every lane. Let's see what we get here. Wow, I thought Blaze would beat Arthas in solo lane. I mean, it might honestly even depend on the player's skill too. This might be a super comfortable Arthas versus, you know, someone who's maybe a little bit less practiced or I'm trying to think of the right word, but either way, maybe it's not someone who practiced or plays a lot with Blaze, so they're not as comfortable. Do they have mastery rings? Can we look for them? No, just kidding. Or what does the people call it in chat? The onion rings? Let's see, Immortal Phase is still going to be pushing up. They get the front gate from this, and I think that's just about as much as they'll get. We do have 7 talent here up on both sides. We'll wait for like a level or so, and then we'll go ahead and cycle through some of the other numbers to get an idea of what that looks like. Currently have the Blaze and the Arthas just going back, and actually Blaze rotating up? No, they're going to stay down here in bottom lane. Maybe? I have a vision for the red team really quickly, so I'm just curious. Okay, so they see the Blazes just, they're going back and forth right here, unsure of what to do. Seems like the same thing is going to be happening in top lane, as there is a bit of a contest over that camp in the upper portion of this top lane, and both teams I think want it, but they're not gonna be the first one to initiate on it, because then it will leash to them and it will target them in a team fight, and that's not what you really want, because that's just extra damage that you need to either heal through or avoid when you're just trying to battle into the enemy team. Oh, but look at this flank coming. Oh, sorry, I hit spacebar as I was moving my hand down, but they're going in for a bit of a flank right there. I don't think it's going to work out, and they'll just end up backing off. Meanwhile, just jumping back into the bottom lane, we're going to be able to go ahead and take a peek at... There we go. Sorry, I was trying to get the talents to cycle and stuff, and the stream deck was just not having it. Arthas backs out, but I think it was a bit of a... They were feigning it. That's a great Umbral Bind to catch them as they tried to get the Jet Propulsion. Arthas also finishes out the Eternal Hunger at level 1. While they realize that they're down there getting the gank, they themselves will grab the camp in top lane to push that up a little bit further. Onion rings are what the cool kids call them, yes. In parentheses, me. Go soak every lane. Let's see game 3. Kaim, I'm with you. I always love a game 3. We've actually been having quite a few game 3s throughout this past week. Like, we did our big, 3 best of 3s on Tuesday, and we had 3 best of 3s. That was so much fun. Like, the VODs will be up on YouTube. They're slowly going up, so I highly recommend if you want to check that out. It's a good place to find all the information, or at least see all the VODs, so you don't have to kind of like skip through the entire highlight itself. But a great leap of faith to save Kid right there. I'm going to have a Divine Star coming out from them as well, just to get a little bit of healing, flash heal onto them. But now, another Immortal Phase is up and available for both teams to contest over. Let's see who's going to be able to take this, as 10s will almost simultaneously hit for these teams as well. Camp on the right-hand side is going to be pinged. Looks like left-hand side is not going to be the case just yet. They're just going to be picking up that soak in bottom lane, but there's going to be 10 talent here across the board. Blaze with the... Oh, wait. I didn't look and see, did Garrosh go into the fray? Because you light bomb and you combust. I said it and then I forgot about it, but like, so they did go into the fray. So they can basically light bomb and combustion onto this enemy team. This is going to be wild. Sanctification, though, was picked up by the Tyrael, so they're going to be able to mitigate maybe, I don't know, this big blow up that might be thrown onto them. Bloodlust from the Rhaegar. I wasn't thinking, I was memeing about this in draft, but we have a legit Bloodlust Rhaegar. Also going to be getting the Sindragosa from the Arthas, so they're going to be locking down the towers for 20 seconds, as we learned earlier. This is a bit of an odd rotation. Oh, no, sorry, I didn't see the Shaman camp. I was like, why'd they break off into bottom lane? Currently going to be having the Blaze clearing out top lane, so while this is happening, Sindragosa going to be coming out from the Arthas. LaNe going to be throwing in a little bit of damage. Flippic going to be coming in here as well. Rain of Vengeance coming out from the Vala. Huge Bloodlust coming out as well. Taunt comes out as well. That's going to be the Sanctification. Umbral Bind with the Warden's Cage going out around that. Blaze is the first one to go down. They cycle out Lupus, who's so very low. This is going to be Dubal's low as well. Spirit of Vengeance gets the explosion with that. Fan of Knives gets a reset as well. Li Ming comes into the backline, but Crazy Buttes is going to be able to eat the damage as they end up taking down 3 members on the opposing side and only losing 1 themselves. They played this so well between Lupus and Shin. I gotta say, that was so very well played. I thought that Li Ming was gonna get reset after reset and they were about to just stomp into this team and take another Immortal Phase, but it looks like the members of Who Knows Gaming are going to at least get this first half of the Immortal Phase. The death timers, as I noted earlier, are fairly short. So we have the Li Ming already back up. Rhaegar's just now getting back up as well. This is going to be both teams. The Immortal Phases, it was about a 5k difference when it comes to our health here. So this is Raynor just putting the pepper on. Maiva's going to use that Vault of the Warden to avoid some of the incoming damage. Slows from the Blaze will connect, and that's going to be the tosser from the Garrus. Warlord challenge out as well. That's going to be the Spirit of Vengeance, not able to blink from that one as Maiev and Raynor go down. Resets for Li Ming are really strong. That's going to be Sturge just getting the Light Bomb, but they don't end up utilizing it there. Lupus is going to try and survive through this one, but unfortunately not the case, and that is a insane defense coming out from sOaK every lane. I mean, I'm talking Who Knows Gaming was doing a great job for themselves, but now they clap back and say, you take a big fight, we'll take a big fight. 15 HP and 50 HP, seriously. Sanct plus Bloodlust, then just run at him. It worked for a couple seconds there. Garrosh practically threw himself there. Second Immortal phase will be coming out in favor for the members of sOaK Every Lane. Going to be going into the bottom lane as it is the least defended lane. It has, or excuse me, it's the more well defended lane with the tower still up and available. We have 13 talent here just about rolling through for the members of sOaK Every Lane as well. Arthas is going to be into top lane to try and pick up that experience on top of all this. They are going to be showing right now, they can see it from the minion wave. So they know that this is going to be technically 6v4 because you have the Immortal. It doesn't target heroes, but at least it has that siege potential, so they have that extra threat within the lane. Arthas is still just soaking up, making sure they're closing that gap. Warlord Challenge coming out from the Garrosh. No one going to be going down. Umbral Bind pulling in two. Kid going to be getting the toss onto one. That's going to be Blaze popping the Pyromania, as that's a Sanctification just in time from Tyrael. They do end up losing the fort in this lane, but it looks like they're going to be able to defend this pretty well. I was going to say that they don't lose anyone here, but Wolf is going to be able to make it out with, oh no, LaNe is getting a double reset. That's going to be the combustion from the Blaze. Warden's Cage is trying to get value. Lupus is somehow turning this around as well as they find 3 kills. Immortal's going to be going down to the keep front gate, but I gotta say, chat, this is an insane back and forth in this matchup. We're gonna look at the, we'll keep the talents up for about a level or so. I want to cycle through the numbers again because we have seen some insane back and forth ever since we had like level 8. Zul rules, I agree. Pogs, just pogs. Whew. Get some water. It's just back and forth. These teams are just trading into each other. Now, I didn't look at when the Immortal phase ended, but I think we're probably looking somewhere in the 13-minute mark in the game for our next Immortal phase. So while that's happening, they're going to go ahead and push out the lanes, soak up a little bit further. This is going to be camp in top lane. Now, I don't know if Arthas saw them rotate up there, but they could try and push in bottom lane a little hard here to try and maybe take out the well, or at least just open up this lane for themselves. Camp was grabbed in top lane. Arthas is in a bit of a risky spot because they have no gate to get back to, so Val is going to vault forward, get the double hungering arrow onto them to stack out their level 4 monster, piercing arrow? Puncturing arrow. Monster Hunter's at level 1. That's I don't know why, but I always flip the puncturing arrow Monster Hunter. Couldn't tell you why, but the gate in bottom lane will be going down. Holy Ground was picked up by the Tyrael at level 13. This is going to allow them to be having that little kind of circle on the ground that you see that blocks people from walking through it. Let the bodies at the floor. Seriously. 16 kills overall in this game as they're trying to make that more. That's going to be the combustion from the Blaze popped immediately. The Holy Ground trying to block them, but they get that jet propulsion out of there. Meanwhile, the Impaler camp is going to be pushing this up a little bit as well, so they're going to be able to clear that out. Heroic damage right now, 23,000. LaNe with 35,000 heroic damage. Dear Lord. Not a massive experience deficit between these two teams. We're only looking at like 1,000 or so. Li Ming gonna come in here and try and poke at this camp, but it was picked up just as they were actually rotating in. And now this is Immortal phase on the aggressive side for both. We could be seeing pure race from both teams, or we could be seeing a defense. And looks like right now this is going to be defense coming out from Who Knows Gaming. They know that their Immortals being sieged up. They need to step up on this. That's gonna be Syndragosa coming out. It's not gonna connect onto anyone. They might have taken a little too long to make this engagement happen, and now this is going to be Immortal phase on the safe side for both teams. So they can defend against this. There's going to be the Shaman camp pushing in bottom lane, so they need to manage this, plus the Catapult. Top lane does have this pushing into top. I think it's going to lose the front gate, maybe one tower. Yeah, it's going to be about it right there. Arthas in bottom lane clearing out. While they see that down there, they also have the Vala up there, so they notice this, but Li Ming is going to throw a little bit of poke damage in here and there. Going to be trying to... they're actually going to use Disintegrate too. They're trying everything to get this third Immortal of the game over in their favor. Now this third Immortal, it's scaling over time, so we're 14 minutes in the game. This will probably pop up around 15, and it will be scaled to that mark. It's going to be sieging in very effectively, because they should be able to zone them back for a little bit here, buy some extra time, heal up. But I'm expecting a... they need that 16 talent here so bad right now. You can see they're going to rotate into top lane for it, and once they see them on the minimap rotating into top lane, they're going to try and invade and go for this Immortal phase. The other thing to note too is their Immortal has almost full health, and that is going to be the shielding for this. Oh, this is a rough spot, but it's going to be going into top lane. I'll be honest, this is a rough go because of how much shielding this big boy has. Big chonky boy. Love your casting as always. Have a fantastic night. Take it to game 3, sOaK Every Lane. Thanks for coming by, Jazzy. You have a wonderful night. Thank you for coming by. I hope Scott does well with his driving exam was today, wasn't it? Sorry, I forgot to ask you earlier, and I know you're just getting out of here. But I hope it went well. I hope everything's good, and I hope Scott has his license and everything's... Yay! It only hurts until you die. That's true. So Fork goes down, 16's up on both sides. Umbrobind is 2 stacks away from being finished out. Arthas is overstacked by 2, or excuse me, by 6. I don't know how I did that caster math. Hyperion going to be coming out here to push back the enemy team. Bloodlust is going to be triggered by the Rhaegars. They're going to be trying to chase in further. They're ignoring the Immortal, trying to find a huge kill, but look at this combustion value. Sanctification to mitigate that, as that's going to be Blaze going down. Taunt goes out onto the Maiev, who ends up getting picked off. There's going to be a light bomb as well, locking down a couple members. That's going to be 4 members getting picked off as Tyrael tries to find the explosion onto Sturgis. Does get it, but doesn't get the kill, as they only have Raynor still up and available, who's just putting the pepper on, and now this Immortal phase moving into melee range does hit for 802 in auto. This keep is going to be going down to this enemy team, and with 20 seconds on average, sOaK every lane might be taking... He passed! Oh, congratulations to Scott! What a good boy. Congratulations to him. But this looks like it's going to be sOaK every lane trying to take us to a game 3 here, as they're going to be stepping up to the core with Immortal still at half its health. The enemy team just about to spawn in 7 seconds. This is going to be falling a little too rapidly for them to mitigate, and, well, chat wanted it. Chat's going to get it. Game number 3 is coming at you as the members of sOaK every lane even up the score 1-1. GG. Well played. That smells of game 3. Yeah. Oops. Thought I pushed the button. Alrighty. Ooh. Okay. Man, that... What level of play is this? Is GM? I think it's high diamond to medium plat, I think. I don't know off the top of my head. I should probably know what all these league separations are, but high plat, diamond. Okay, thank you, Ektar. Ektar knows. All right, let's find a message over to Wolf. Yes, to Wolf. Okay. Yeah, you really don't get into the GM master range until you get to Division A and Heroic. That's typically where you see a lot more. Like, A is like high diamond master area, and then Heroic is it's whatever. It's your highest tier. Oh boy, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're ready for this. I hope you're ready. I can't believe it. All right. Okay. Let's just stats once more really quickly, just see if you missed those, and we can go ahead and move on into our next game. Also, really quickly, Wicked Kitten and Cheer Up Pop Tart, thank you for joining the Discord server. Really, really appreciate it, friends. Alrighty, let's go ahead and pull it back to Bandit and I. The cuteness. Oh, there we go. Let's get our map set up here. Bum, 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 bum. Make observer, set to ref, do this, and get them in here. They're team 2. Yes, okay, cool. But then it's also average league. So when I was in Division B, my team was from silver to master depending on the player. That is true, Stark. Yeah, it is averaged MMRs is the way that they do things for NGS. So like, you could have one master and like some silvers, and you'll end up in like Division C or B because of averages and such. Well, maybe like probably more like C. Sorry, I'm trying to talk and do things at the same time, and it's not been working out this evening. All right, we got that all set up. Let's get Wolf onto the correct side. Okay, and then let's get the other team in here as well. Invite to game. All right, cool. All right, well, we're going to get set up for this, and this will be our game number 3 and our final game of the evening. I just want to thank you all for hanging out, for helping us push towards Switch Partner. I really, really appreciate it, and thank you. Seriously, thank you all for being here. It blows me away that, like, people want to come and watch me cast here as the Storm. I know it's like, well, yeah, duh, but, like, I don't know, it's still, it always, it's such a happy feeling. I don't know how to describe it, but I just really appreciate all of you, and like, community we built and everything. So thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting me in my goals and my aspirations and dreams. And I couldn't do it with all of you. So thank you for being here. Thank you for being such amazing people. When it comes to stream stuff, I just want to update you really quickly as we're getting into the lobby. Tomorrow I won't be streaming. Tomorrow's my day when I go out and do stuff. I usually go on the mountain, go snowboarding and stuff like that. Saturday I'll be over on Jinxie's stream at 11 a.m. PST for D&D. She runs that. There's quite a few wonderful people over there. Stark, for example, who's in chat. He plays in our group as well. He plays Lorelei, who's honest to God a fantastic character, and I always like the interactions they have with my own. And then Sunday I typically take that day off of streaming, also just to do chores around the house, hang out with Bandit, watch a movie, and just prepare for the week. And then Monday we'll be back casting NGS. Tuesday we'll be back casting NGS. Maybe we'll do community night on Tuesday. We might do that. Wednesday there's gonna be a secret cast, and then Thursday I will be casting Division S. On all of that will be on this channel. Okay, so teams are. Whew. Hi, it's me. You're good at casting, so it's easy to watch a great game with you. Thank you so much, Die. Thank you so much, Die Player. We appreciate you. I appreciate you, Kaim. Seriously. On average, the second rate is Diamond 5. Okay, so there you go. Yeah, on average, the second highest rated player on a Division B team is Diamond 5. Okay. Good. That's some good information for anyone that's wondering. Can I have bad? Okay. Holy crap, we have 90 viewers? Seriously, thank you. All right, let's go ahead and get on into game number 3. And I hope you are ready for this, because we are going to a wonderful map to be ending everything on. Welcome back to the Nexus Gaming Series. My name is Bahamut. We find ourselves here in game number 3 of our second best of 3 series of the evening, and we are making it to Braxis Holdout. Let's go ahead and find out how we got to Braxis Holdout, because it's been a couple good games so far. The home team this evening is going to be sOaK Every Lane. They lost the coin flip. The opposing side opted for map pick priority in game number 1. Tomb the Spider Queen and Sky Temple were banned out by sOaK Every Lane. Who Knows Gaming banned out Cursed Hollow and Infernal Shrines. Dragonshire was the first map chosen by them, and they won that. The opposing side then had first pick or map pick priority. They opted for map pick priority and chose to take us to Battlefleet of Eternity. sOaK Every Lane won that one. So the opposing side, same kind of situation, has the opportunity for first pick or map pick. They're going to be opting for map pick priority, and they've chosen to take us to Braxis Holdout to round everything out. And I gotta say, this is a fun map to kind of close things out on. I'm really excited about this one to be our last map here for the evening. So we have a Rexar ban, RL gonna be banned out as well. Something like a Deathwing actually could be showing up here. Deathwing is actually pretty powerful and could be doing some insane siege here. We actually saw a Deathwing earlier in our Division D matchup. We also saw Twin Blades variant, so if you missed it, obviously there's going to be VODs, but you can also check that out on YouTube in a couple days, because typically I usually end up posting over the next couple days or over a couple days. I was a little bit late this week, so we're doing kind of 2 uploads a day. We have one that's at 3 in the morning and one's at 3 in the afternoon, just to get all the games out there. So we're all updated. I haven't done the games from yesterday, and obviously I haven't done the ones from today, so those will be going up a little bit later. But either way, you got tons of Here's the Storm content, so if you do enjoy it, subscribing over to the YouTube page is a good way to keep up with all that. But either way, we got ourselves some bans. We have a ETC as the first pick coming out from the members of sOaK Every Lane. Not a bad idea. Going to be able to have some really good control point prowess with the ETC being able to force people back, but Joanna's not something to scoff at either. She's great at the pulling a lot of heroes together. The blinds from her are really effective. The slows that she has on her subdue are great. Then you have the Blessed Shield for some setup. Now, I actually really like the idea of a Jaina here. Jaina, Kael'thas, Gul'dan, a lot of those mages are good, but I think you have to grab them a little early. Actually going to be going into the Stukov, so another good control point based hero as well. Stukov really does well because you're able to use that lurking arm, which is going to force people off of the control point typically. That actually was, I think they might have been trying to steal that away on the side of Who Knows Gaming, so that way the ETC wouldn't have that lurking arm underneath them if they go for a power slide mosh pit, or even just the power slide with the lurking arm is still just a good way to lock someone down for a couple seconds, not allowing them to get out of the out of the horrible situation that they made it into. But they're going to go ahead and grab an Anduin. Chastise is still a good setup, and then they have the follow-up burst damage from Jaina and also the wave clear. We get into our second ban phase here. They need a solo laner on the opposing side as well as some extra damage. Now with a Jaina, something like a Rainer's pretty good. So if they don't plan to grab it on the side of Who Knows Gaming, I would actually consider maybe banning out the Rainer here, because he also has Hyperion, which is also really good for push potential. So if you grab the Zerg wave, throw a Hyperion on top of that, actually gonna be the Vala. I'm gonna respect that Vala from the last game. Okay. I was mostly thinking Rainer because of the fact that you have the ace in the hole, but maybe they plan to take it themselves because they will have first pick on the side of Who Knows Gaming after this phase here. I didn't know how you talk so fast. One thing happens and I'm not expecting and just trip over all my words. I mean, I trip over my words all the time, Tin, but it's something that, I mean, I've been doing this for like 3 years, so it's slowly, it's just natural. I'm a mildly talkative person, so it's kind of hand in hand. Also, I don't work in an office or anything, so I don't talk to anyone all day. So this is when I get all of my words out. No, it's just I think it's one of those things that, I don't know, in my opinion, it makes me a good caster. So that's I try and make sure that I'm good at being able to describe things and be detailed, but very, very quick with it. So Kira, Sylvanas, also with the way that they changed drafts, because when we only had 2 ban phases, the actual pick phase was a lot longer. So now you have to kind of rush through the actual draft itself. So I kind of get in this momentum that is, and that's when I usually start tripping with my words and thinking of the wrong heroes because trying to keep up. Either way, Kira, Sylvanas on the right-hand side. So push potential from Sylvanas. A lot of good fight coming out from the Kira. We actually saw really good play. I believe they actually played Kira on the Dragonshire game in game 1, yeah. So they're going to be able to have that big burst damage with her as well, and also just her control within the team fight. But a Yrel for the solo lane, and then a Lunara to be pushing in as well. I'm okay with this. I think this is actually a pretty good match, a pretty good setup right now. Yrel has the Ardent Defender, so if she does get in a hairy situation with the Kira and Sylvanas, maybe she can just pop that and feel fine, or be fine. Going into the Yrel, they could either go into Leoric or a Malthael. I'm actually leaning a little bit more into the Leoric here. I think he's got a little bit better wave clear for the friendly team, as well as Dex, thank you so much for the follow. Glad you're enjoying the stream. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I hope you're having a wonderful night. That Zagara, I actually really like the Zagara pick. Baja's fast talking is a genial defect? But it's not self-conscious? Cognital wait, what? Hold on. Butthuz Butt King. Buttspot, please. Dude, Buttspot, yeah, going for the triple right there. Not something we see often. Mango, thank you for the follow. Mango and Kiwi. Are you birds? Oh, thank you for the follow, I appreciate it. I hope if you have birds, share it. Dex, thank you seriously though for that. Sorry, I'm too all over the place right now. Sorry, Actor, I didn't follow what you were saying, but let's get into game. On the left-hand side, we got the members of sOaK Every Lane up 1 in our best of 3 series. Philippic is going to be on the Yrel. We have Double's going to be on the Anduin. Dam is going to be on the Lunara. Kid is going to be on the ETC, and Sturgis will be on the Jaina. On the right-hand side, we got the members of Who Knows Gaming as well, up 1 in our best of 3 series. Lupus going to be on the Zagara. We're going to be having Shin going to be on the Sylvanas. Wolf will be on the Joanna. We have Crazy Buttes going to be on the Stukov, and Mezos is going to be on the Kira. Let's go ahead and get into bottom lane and check out what happens here. Looks like you got a triple, Bob. I love it. I love it so much. All right, so this is going to be our bottom lane matchup right now. Zagara is going to be going up against the Yrel in top lane. We'll take a peek at that here and there throughout this entire game. But right now, we're going to see at least the initial matchup going into each other right now. Also, Zagara did go into Infest once again. Excuse me. And as we noted, she gets 1% per 1,000 siege damage. So this is actually going to scale up over time with her. So she has 100,000 siege, you're going to be having Infest being 225%, which was nearly what she had on game number 1 on Dragonshire. And I can't blame them for wanting to go into the, going into that again. It was the dominant force in the top lane, and maybe this will be the exact same thing here. They also did have that serrated spine, if I'm not mistaken, as I think that's the name of the talent. The one that actually increases her auto attack damage by hitting heroes with her auto attack. Well, I mean, right now, Felipe is going to play this slower. Control points will activate in the next 8 seconds. Looks like we have a couple members already grouping up around this. The Kira did not go into fatal wounds once again, went into maximum effort. Sorry, I had it in my head and I was like, no, I thought of something, I was like, that's probably not right. There's the lurking arm. This is what I was talking about from the members of Who Knows Gaming. That lurking arm is a really good zoning potential, because then you lurking arm, you silence them. If they want to stand on the point, your friendly team steps up and tries to, well, put some pressure onto them. As Chastise comes out, connects onto the Joanna right there. They'll be using lurking arm to zone them back once again. This is what I'm talking about. Like, it's a very, very good zone tool. They're going to play a little bit on the control side. They've got a bit of dive on the side of Who Knows Gaming, but sOaK every lane does have a little bit of control on their own end with the Anduin, with the ETC. So it's a bit of a hybrid on both of these teams. Not really like dive, not really fully control either. But this is currently charge going up in favor for the members of Who Knows Gaming. sOaK every lane going to be able to stop the top lane, as Felipe will be able to step on this point for now. Cigar going to try and poke at them with a couple Banelings. Also has those Roachlings on them as well. But we pause for a couple seconds. And we get back into it in bottom lane, because it's non-stop. I'm trying to make sure that I watch the Zagara Urel play in top lane as well, just to see if she gets a little too low and might be getting whittled down by the Zagara. Meanwhile, actually, let's jump over there. Zagara, yeah, actually does force them back here. Gonna be a little bit low on that Urel, sitting somewhere around half their health pool, as Zagara continually puts the pressure on, and they're gonna be, they're just scaling. Their siege damage and as well as their auto attack damage is scaling significantly as they're just pushing up further and further. I'm just curious really quickly what we have siege damage wise. So it's going to go up 8% currently. That's all. Urel actually doubling the siege damage from Zagara right now. But Zergwave 100% will be coming out in favor for the members of Who Knows Gaming, and they're going to push in through bottom lane. This Sylvanas right here, I talked about her prowess earlier in a couple matches, and the surprise of no one banning her out, especially on a map like this. She was actually very late in the draft. I'm not going to lie. I think she was in the like 3-4 slot with the Kira, and it made it through it made it through 6 bans. I mean, obviously they're not going to ban it themselves if they plan on taking it, but still, they made it through the ban phases, and it's just wild to me because they're already able to open up the front gate. They're going to chase in further. They've still got 50% of their Zergwave. Top lane's already been cleared out. This is going to be the fort taking quite a bit of damage. Sylvanas will have her trade up in the next, I think it's like 10 seconds or so. It's not that long of a cooldown, but doesn't even need it. Banshees, I think, were sent forward. Sturgis is going to be Strogus is going to be very low, and now they're going to push in further with the Guardians. This is actually what we were seeing in the Braxis holdout match earlier tonight versus Phoenix Rising Amethyst versus Probius. This was kind of the exact same first Zergwave. Granted, there was no Sylvanas, but they still got just about this much siege, which is absolutely wild to me. We have a power slide from the ATC trying to force them into the gate. Sylvanas did use her trait to lock down those towers, so they didn't really take any damage from that face melt pushing them into the wave right there, but the Guardians will continue to deal out damage. 63 per auto, but it is going to be a 0.5 auto attack speed, so they're essentially getting 126 auto attack damage per second, because they can fire twice a second because it's 0.5. Either way, Urel and Urel and Zagara in top lane going to be just still going back and forth. Has 23 stacks on the serrated spines at level 4. The Jaina is sitting currently at 9 out of the 20 necessary for the Fingers of Frost, so a little bit of a slow go for them, but still, I mean, it's 4 minutes 50 seconds into the game and they're halfway through, so not that bad. There's just this globe generator that they need to kind of grab as quickly as possible, so that way they're still stacking her up and making sure the enemy team doesn't potentially get it. Otherwise, I think we can go ahead. No, we'll wait for 7 Talontiers on both sides, because we were just about to get it for sOaK every lane. Doubles and friends will finish this out, put some pressure into top lane. Meanwhile, speaking of top lane, Mezas, I think they were trying to get the revolving sweep around them to force them back into the friendly team, but Urel was able to just disengage right there and wasn't going to get ganked. Meanwhile, in bottom lane, there's going to be 2 camps mashing into each other. This should be the Bruiser camp winning against the Siege camp, as you can already see in that being just destroyed right there. They're trying to manage the top lane. Urel actually comes down into bottom, so is Zagara, so going to be spreading some creep around. I actually like that they have all this creep up here. Lunara has this wisp next to one of the creep things, one of the creep trimmers, and it's just like, both teams can see these things, I think. Hold on, let's jump over to the Euro. Yeah, they can see that creep tumor right there. It's just funny to me. Either way, it's still gonna be no heroics just yet. We actually have a killless game as well. Like, no one's died just yet, but they might be looking to change that as Kira dives in, trying to get a lot of damage onto Dam, but doesn't go down to the bleed damage as they turn around and find themselves a Joanna kill. Gonna spread that push around, gonna try and slow them down, but that's gonna be Sylvanas getting picked off. And I say that there were no kills, and they heard me, so they say, you know what, Bahamut, we got 2 for you. We'll go ahead and grab those, and we'll start to get some experience gain in their own favor. But some of that experience gain from the Zerg wave has pushed up the enemy team a little bit too far. So Who Knows Gaming still having to work their way, or excuse me, not Who Knows Gaming. sOaK Every Lane has to still have to work their way back into even talent tiers, or at least even experience, as we are looking through a lot of that right now. And we can see 1,372 experience was gained by the members of sOaK Every Lane, and that closed that experience gap that was currently there. Now we have top lane being contested, power slide from the ATC onto Kira, and that is a very quick burst onto her. Gonna control this and push themselves further forward towards that 10 talent tier. Gonna have another condemn here. They're just soaking up, and I think both these teams are looking for just that 10, but also they can't play this too aggressive, as you just saw that there was the kill onto the Kira. Looking at bottom lane, looks like Zagara's trying to force back Flippic. Doing actually a really good job of that. I think they're just worried about the 10 talents here coming in, and there's going to be an Art Defender, but they've pushed them down to the point where they need to disengage here and probably go back to the Hall of Storms. Meanwhile, in top lane, sOaK goes down as we just transition up here, and Sylvanas and Kira are just now back alive. That stagger death's going to be a bit of a rough go for them as I'm skimming through talents. Flailing Swipe from the sOaK. We actually don't have Ardent Defender. We have Sacred Ground from the Urel. Ooh, Iron Skin, a Ring of Frost behind the gate. I don't think it connected on anyone. There's a Blessed Shield that came out as well. Kid getting very low. Wailing Arrow comes out as well. Oh, the grapple from Kira was like a pixel too short. Final Strike comes out, and Doubles isn't going to get picked off by that one, but they at least stop the Zerg progression at 70%. Haunting Wave coming out from Shin as well, but not going to be able to trigger, or not triggering it. Zagar holding over bottom lane, and this will be Charge going over to the side of Who Knows Gaming. Now, for anyone that might not know Brax's holdout, the way that this works is it's not who gets to 100% first. It's just, well, it is who gets to 100% first. But if the opposing side still has 70, like if here, let me try and rephrase all this. If the members of Who Knows Gaming grab this Zerg phase here, if they get 100%. The enemy team still has 70% Zerg charge in their favor. They're still going to be having, that's the wrong pen. Man, I'm all over the place right now. So all of this will still be coming out. It's not like one of those things where like, oh, the enemy team got 100, you don't get it. It's not like not Infernal Shrines. Well, Infernal Shrines a little bit, but Battlefield of Eternity, like, you know, it's not like, oh, you got one Immortal down to this much and the other one's, you know, a little bit less. My rambling aside, we got a Zerg wave here. I'm sorry about that. Either way. Bottom lane is going to be 100%. Top lane is going to be 66. This is what I was trying to actually verbalize, but it just was not happening. And now I think they're actually just going to be... They're just going to be holding this off for now. No real Zerg wave value coming out in favor for the members of Who Knows Gaming. sOaK Every Lane going to be trying to push up bottom lane a little bit. I don't know how Urel got to that far side of the gate over there. I think they might have tried to dive over, maybe onto Kira, who's a little bit low. Just hammer to the face of Zagara, forcing them back to try and push this up further. Kira, though, going to get the revolving sweep, putting a lot of damage. Sacred Ground going to be used. That's going to be 50 armor to Urel. As long as she's in that, she's going to have that. Kira going to get another bleed onto them. And looks like the Urel needs to get out of there, as they're just going to use a couple abilities to get rid of some of the creep tumors, as this will be the Guardians going down as well. Zerg wave and bottom will be cleared out, and I gotta say, between the two teams, not a whole lot of siege value coming out on either side. I want to just quickly peek. Zagara sitting at 28,000 siege damage, so gonna be buffing out her 125% with that. Actually gonna be using that Nidus network to jump into top lane a little bit quicker. Sentinel Wisp's just sitting, or excuse me, the Wisp just sitting right there. There you go. Get rid of that. They might have been seeing that Wisp the entire time. Camp on the left-hand side is going to be grabbed, and both teams are going to be approaching 13 talent here in just a second. We should be having another beacon announcement in, I think, like 20 or so seconds. We're not too far off. It's a very short cooldown between actual beacon phases, and then it's just going to be grabbing camps, putting pressure on the map, and looking for the same talent tier, so at least they can fight with exactly the, as I said, same talent tier. And do they go for boss play is the question. Are they going to throw all this into the lane and then try and make a sneaky boss play? I don't think so. I was waiting to see because they were rotating up. I was like, you could maybe go for it, but it looks like they just want to try and open up top lane a little bit further. The next Zerg wave I believe will be red in top and blue in bottom. No, it's going to be red in bottom and blue in top because we just had them sieging up into the top lane, and they actually did a good job of mitigating what came in against them on the side of sOaK every lane. But right now, Lupus getting pushed back right now, pops another Nidus Worm, as I think they saw that this one maybe got scattered out, was going down, but the gate goes down, and that's going to be just about it, as we actually have the entire team rotating up right here. The Wisp is going to be scouting that out, so they know they have to play this further back, and I was actually way off on the control beacons. I thought it was going to be way sooner, but either way, 13s are up. Do we have a team fight that pops off is the big question that I have here. There we go. I'm waiting to see what the step up overall looks like here. Sylvanas did use the, she does have her trade up and available. That's why you're seeing that kind of black ichor around her. And that's just going to be her trait up and available. So it's going to be what? I think it's like a 30-second cooldown onto her trait, actually. 40 seconds, excuse me. What? We wait. Beacon phases are open. Seems like Urel's going to be managing top lane, or excuse me, bottom lane. The entire top lane is going to be a 4v5 in favor for the members of Who Knows Gaming, and they're going to try and take advantage of that, as that's going to be the Blessed Shield coming out. Fatal Strike going to be there as well. Final Strike coming out as well. Lunar goes down. ETC to be picked off as well. A huge Ring of Frost, but they don't end up finding a kill. Urel coming in here, trying to get a bit of a pick onto one of these players, but ends up having to use the Righteous Hammer to speed on right out of there. As also to note, Zagara sitting at 72 stacks. Does it want to show us what the actual number is? 14.4%. Whew. What's she sitting at damage-wise right now? 175. Dear Lord. Sylvanas is going to lock down this tower while they push in further onto that, and that's going to be Stukov and friends able to get a tower in top lane. This means that there's going to be periodic catapult pressure in their favor on the side of Who Knows Gaming. Hey, Day! How's it going? Thanks for coming by. I hope you had a wonderful work day. I hope all of your phone troubles are solved and everything is just nice and peasy. Also, are you streaming tonight? 14 to 15 in levels. Ooh, Kid is going to be getting the Revolve Sweep thrown onto them. It's going to be Power Slide from the ETC. Mezzos is taking a lot of damage. Really good Righteous Hammer. The healing. Oh my god, I can't believe the healing that's coming out right now, but that will be Kira going down. I think she was going for the Final Strike as it's on a 10-second cooldown. Now that they got that one killed, the old Light Bomb Power Slide, that's going to be the lockdown onto 2. ETC trying to get to the far side to use the Face Melt to force them back. This is a lot of damage onto Sturgis, who's going to be very low. Crazy Buttes is going to be going down as well. Kid getting very low. Sylvanas able to not put enough damage over time onto them as Lunar's trying to chase in. Wolf is over here as well. Philippic is coming back in, and they're just going to be chasing in with the Righteous Hammer, forcing them back. And now 16s are approaching on either side, but we do have 82% currently charged up for Who Knows Gaming. Sturgis going to be going to the top. Bottom lane's already held over, and they will be putting up some Zerg percent for them. Oh, Zagara heckling in top, trying to slow this down a little bit, and it just buys a little bit more time, but they're going to jump into the Nidus, and you're going to see their health just skyrocket really quickly because you do heal from that, and they can actually just pop back out and be they're going to pop back out and be a nuisance in top lane. I love the way they played that, because I think they were expecting Zagara to Hearth or something like that. Either way, Power Slide from the ETC in bottom lane, currently having Shin trying to use the weight of the Banshees, but there's going to be a Jaina right next to them as they get the Banshees off, and they end up getting picked off right there. Dam going to be able to get out. That's going to be Condemned trying to pull in a couple members. The Zagara is going to be down in this bottom lane as well, throwing out some Banelings as well. 29 seconds on the Sylvanas. We have the camp on the right-hand side just about up as well. That's going to be available for players. It looks like the Zagara is going to be going for the camp over here in the top right. Rest of the friendly team going to be rotating up to make sure this goes a little bit quicker, and as long as they're holding one, the enemy team won't be able to get some Zerg potential in their favor. But I wonder if this is a play. No, okay. I was wondering if it's a play to potentially get the channel on top lane, but no, this is gonna be Zagara back into bottom. ETC literally just standing on the point, just like, all right, come at me, I got this. The rest of the members of Who Know Gaming are going to be going ahead, and oh no, I thought they were going to be grabbing that camp, but they're going to end up getting the charge turned over. I was going to, but I found out, but I have to go in early tomorrow, and so I probably can't. Oh no! And I got a new phone. Sucks I had to buy a new one, but it's resolved. Yay! I'm glad it's all done. But ETC lived. Yeah, basically. Buttspot with the constant grammar fixes tonight. Buttspot has been on fire, I'm not gonna lie. I'm loving it. 16s are up on both sides. We're gonna cycle through the other towns in just a second. The two camps in top lane are kind of battling it out a little bit here. Gonna manage that that catapult right there, but this will be Urel in top lane grabbing this back over. Lupus gonna be coming up here as well. 93 stacks on the Zagara currently, 18.6%, 108, like, This URL is slowly gonna really feel that pain, as this is gonna be beacon phase interrupted. They drop the roachlings on themselves, and it's just going to be stop right there. But meanwhile, in bottom lane, we're currently going to be having a bit of a back and forth. Ring of Frost goes out. sOaK gets caught by it, but there's no real major follow-up. Here going to be poking out as well. Felipe, going to be able to make their way out of that one right there, as I didn't think the Haunting Wave would be in time. This has actually been quite a drawn-out beacon phase. I'm not going to lie. This is our third one of the game, if I'm not mistaken. Because the first one got quite a bit of value for the members of Who Knows Gaming, and now it's a bit of a not a stalemate, but there's just such a stall happening right now. They're going to try and convert this back over because the URL has top lane, so they're getting beacon phase in the favor of sOaK every lane. Light Bomb going to be coming out. They connect onto one. They're going to power slide over onto Crazy. This is going to be Kira over here getting a huge stab through a couple members. Final Strike is going to be there. Look at the lineup that's going to be going out. They don't get anyone with that right there, but they still found 3 kills overall. Mezos is going to turn around and go for the channel. This is going to be Zagar rotating down to the friendly team. I wonder if they're going to try and tag this camp. Because if they, yeah, once the Zerg wave comes out, the camps do disappear. So I was wondering if they were going to try and tag it and push pressure into bottom. But right now they're saying, you know what, top lane does not matter. There are 4 members down on the opposing side for the average of 20 seconds. We have Sylvanas, we have a Zerg wave. Let's try and end game. And I think Who Knows Gaming might be able to do it here. Zagar throws a Nidus Network right behind them as well. All right, keeps down. Joanna's forward. The entire Zerg wave is here. This one in top lane is just going to be shredding through the fort, but they don't care. They have the opportunity to end. Sacred Ground URL is up and available as well. She's looking to dive into the backline, takes a lot of damage initially. Oh my god, she pops the Sacred Ground, but still ends up going down. Kid gets a massive ETC mosh, but the Flailing Swipe is just in time, and the core is going to fall way too rapidly, and that is going to be game number 3 over to the side of Who Knows Gaming. GG, well played. A hard-fought series between both teams. Woo! I love that game, chat. All right, don't go anywhere. We're going to host someone over in just a second, but we're going to get a quick interview with one of the players from the winning team. So let's go ahead and message them and see what they want to do. Bye, Stark. Thank you for coming by. Thank you for the 10 gifted subs again. Seriously, you are the best. Oh, all right. And at this time, we're going to be joined by Wolf. Congratulations on your 2-1 victory. How you feeling after that?
Really good.
Now that was an insane back and forth series, and we got to talk about that, because game number 1, Dragonshire. You guys come out here and you come out guns a-blazing. And then Battlefield of Eternity happens. What was this? What happened between the 2 games? Was it just their early game momentum? Was it just a comfort map for them maybe? Like, can you talk about game 2? Because it seemed like you drove game 1 so very well, and game 2 just seemed to kind of flip-flop a little bit.
We just decided to try something different, and it turned out to not work.
Oh, okay. No, I was just curious, because I wasn't sure like how you went from such a dominant, really strong game 1 to just, there was really good back and forth throughout that entire game. Sorry, there we go. There was a lot of good back and forth between game number 2. It seemed like every time you were going for initiation, you just couldn't kind of get your footing in the fight. I was just curious, as a team perspective, what were you trying to do to battle that?
Yeah, we just were having trouble getting a fight that we wanted because we were playing a Bloodlust comp.
I mean, I loved it. I was happy about Bloodlust.
Well, then we did it just for you.
Thank you. See, that's all that matters to me. Thank you. Now, game number 3, we go to Braxis Holdout. That's your map choice as well. What was kind of the thought process to that? Was it just like, let's go there and just kind of run it down, or just get a composition that we feel comfortable on?
They were confident playing on Braxis, and I said okay.
Oh, all right. Well, there you go. It's as easy as that.
It was as easy as that. They said we can do this. They did.
No, it was seriously such a fun set and such a fun series. As we kind of get further along here, getting into the later half of season 8, are there any teams that you're nervous or excited to go up against in the upcoming weeks?
You Are Not Alone is next Thursday.
Is that going to be a doozy?
Well, they haven't dropped a map yet.
Okay. Do you think you'll be the team to do it?
I want to be the team to do it.
I hope maybe we'll be able to grab that match. It'll be absolutely a blast. But before I let you run out of here, any shouts that you'd like to give? The floor is all yours.
Shout out to my team. They played great. Shout out to sOaK LaNe. Those great series. Shout out to you and Bandit for casting it. It's always fun having live casters.
Oh, I'm glad to do so. But it was an amazing series. It was such a fun best of 3, and congratulations once again on your victory. You have a wonderful night, my friend, and I'll see you all further down in season 8 of NGS.